Now on CoastTV News.
Cyber attacks targeting water systems.
Iran's got bigger problems than worrying about Minnesota.
Why President Trump doesn't think Iran is involved, but that opinion isn't shared throughout the government. 4 shootings in 1 week. How more than safety is coming into question in Dover.
A nice weekend on the way to kick off the month of August, but increasing rain chances as we go into next week. I'll track the rain and talk about totals coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Water system cyber attacks throughout the country. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brandon Ferguson. We begin with new concerns about water infrastructure across the United States. With cyber attacks targeting water facilities in more than half a dozen states, NBC's Gabe Gutierrez shows us the questions swirling about Iran's role in the attacks.
Tonight, the FBI warning cities across the country about cyber attacks to municipal water systems. Writing utility companies in at least 7 states have reported incidents to the FBI, and some of that activity degraded water operations. In Minnesota alone, more than 30 municipal water systems have been targeted, and a senior law enforcement official has told NBC News that attack bears all the hallmarks of Iranian-backed hackers. Though today, President Trump denied Iran was behind it.
I don't think so. I blame it on Minnesota because they're grossly incompetent.
Minnesota's Democratic Governor Tim Walz firing back. Trump knows exactly who's responsible for this attack and knows that other states were hit too, adding it further illustrates there's no plan to win a war with Iran.
Iran's got bigger problems than worrying about Minnesota.
Back in April, after the start of the Iran war, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, warned of Iran-affiliated hackers trying to exploit a specific piece of equipment.
This is a wake-up call, not a catastrophe.
Cynthia Kaiser is a former deputy director of the FBI's cyber division.
Is the water supply safe?
Yes, there does not appear to have been any effect on water quality as a part of these attacks, but the reality is that we have to be looking to the future about when these types of attacks could become a lot more consequential.
Cybersecurity experts we spoke with say municipal water systems can be easy targets if they're connected to the internet.
The Trump administration dropped its Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool case against a former Olympic canoeist today. Prosecutors said after the July 2nd indictment, the Interior Department provided additional documents to the U.S. Attorney's Office. After reviewing those documents, it indicated the damage to the reflecting pool was the result of flawed installation by the contractor, not any vandalism. Previously, President Donald Trump said vandals were to blame for a number of the issues the reflecting pool saw over the past few months. The Ocean Pines police are warning against scam attempts shown here on the left side of your screen there. That's the fake deed copy service scam where locals receiving this official looking letter say they need a copy of their deed with an offer to obtain it for a fee. Police say homeowners can protect themselves by reviewing all mail carefully. Dover police are investigating 3 of the week's shootings, while Delaware State Police are handling a 4th. Neighbors say the violence is not just affecting how safe they feel, it is also impacting Dover's image and its ability to attract new families and businesses.
Dover is the capital of the state. It has a lot of history, and no one wants to come here. The city officials can say one thing, but people are not moving into this area. They're all leaving. Everyone I know has left this area.
In Pocomoke City, a 15-year-old was shot on Wednesday and a 4-year-old girl drowned in the Pocomoke River on Sunday. This has hit the community very hard. Worcester County Sheriff Matt Crisafulli says now is a time to bring everyone together.
We just have to show that as a community, when something like that happens, we have to band together to try to get through this as a unified front so that people don't feel like they're isolated or that they're alone on a little island.
Pocomoke Mayor Todd Knock released a statement saying Maryland's juvenile system justice laws may need a second look. Now let's take a live look outside into Ocean City. On the bottom of your screen, quite a few people out there on the boardwalk. Let's check in with our meteorologist Bob Trihey for a look at our weather and a good weekend forecast. Bob, good evening.
Yeah, it is looking really good, Brandon, for the first weekend of August. Where did July go? Now, it's quiet now, but we had a few pop-up showers along the sea breeze earlier across southeast Sussex County around Millsboro, and then those storms slid down into the Ocean Pines area. I should say showers. We really didn't get any thunder with those, but now things are mostly clear. We're looking really nice out there as high pressure is building in, but we're already starting to see high clouds building in west of D.C., and all these clouds will be moving in this upcoming weekend. So I'm thinking more clouds and sun, and there's low pressure, strong low pressure across Iowa. That low will be tracking our way, giving us a rainy week ahead beginning late Sunday. Temperatures now into the 60s and low 70s, 70 in Gumboro, 72 in Georgetown, 71 in Millsboro, and the winds are coming out of the south. They're light, but they're bringing in a lot of humidity right now. Here's Futurecast at midnight. We're in the 60s and 70s, and maybe a little bit of fog towards the morning hours. Otherwise, a mild start, temperatures into the upper 60s, and then warm tomorrow, mid to upper 80s by the afternoon hours, maybe a little cooler by 4 p.m. as the clouds are moving in. Last day of the fair in Harrington tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies, temperatures into the upper 80s, so all in all looking really nice. And along the coast, if you're headed to the beach, low to mid 80s there with, well, we'll call it mostly cloudy skies. But the weekend looks good. The rain builds in later Sunday and Monday. Your full forecast coming up a little bit later on. Brandon?
Thank you, Bob. Cases of an infection from a bacteria that can lead to a potentially life-threatening infection are on the rise, including in the waters of the Chesapeake Bay. The Vibrio bacteria thrives in warm water. Scientists say the higher number of bacteria is the result of higher temperatures. The bacteria gets into flesh through open wounds, and if left untreated, it can lead to infections that may require amputation or can be life-threatening. An infectious disease provider with Tidal Health says there are preventative measures everyone can take.
Main thing is to be cautious about keeping the wounds covered if they're open wounds, like with a waterproof Band-Aid, or if you have a new piercing, avoid the waters or keep it covered. Just taking those precautions is absolutely necessary. Or wearing shoes, or not shoes, sorry, slippers, not to walk barefoot so you don't get new cuts when you're by the Chesapeake Bay to avoid the water exposure.
Experts say contracting a serious infection from this bacteria is still relatively rare, but that warmer waters explain the higher number of cases. In Lewis, city leaders have launched this year's transportation survey. The survey gathers feedback on transit service, mobility needs, and future transportation improvements. It's open to everyone, and the link is on the City of Lewis website. Now to Virginia, where early voting for the primary elections ends tomorrow. Voters must vote in the town where they're registered. That primary election is on Tuesday, August 4th, and in-person voters must bring an ID to the polls. Millsboro could be one step closer to creating a new community park. Town leaders are considering applying for a state grant to help build a parking lot for the already planned future Route 24 park. The parking lot is a key part of that project. People who live nearby say they're happy to see more recreational space coming to Millsboro, but don't all agree what should actually be built.
As Millsboro continues to grow, town leaders are looking to expand recreation opportunities.
We need parks.
Monday night, council will consider applying for a state grant to help fund a parking lot for the town's future Route 24 community park. The proposed park would be located west of Route 113, across from Godwin School Road, according to town leaders. Back in February, the town asked the community for feedback on what they think it should be. Suggestions included new amenities, upgraded playground equipment, walking trails, athletic fields, or other designed features.
I think it'll be good. I've been hearing there's been some vandalism with the kids, I guess having nowhere to go and just riding their bikes around the neighborhood, so it's a safer place for the kids to be.
The grant application would go through Delaware's Outdoor Recreation Parks and Trails program. While the park has not been officially named, town leaders say the funding would help move the project one step closer to reality. But not everyone is convinced the current plans are the right fit.
I'm not too happy about that. I think it should be on the other side. I don't like the the fact that you're going to be seeing houses. It's just that's not a park to me.
Others say regardless of what amenities are included, the town needs more places where neighbors can gather.
If approved, the town would move forward with submitting the grant application to DNREC. As of right now, town leaders have not yet announced when construction on the park will begin. All of this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what would bring you to a new city park. Let's take a look at the updated results from our city. A lot of options there. Community events, 28%, 43%, the majority just relaxing outdoors, 12% just in a family-friendly setting. We actually have a comment tonight saying we need basketball courts. I agree with that. And if you haven't voted yet or you want to leave a comment, you can do all of that right now on CoastTV.com or head on over to our mobile app. The Pima County Sheriff's Office has released 2 ransom notes in connection to the Nancy Guthrie case. The new details in the notes that may be from whoever kidnapped Nancy 6 months ago. NBC's Liz Kreutz shows us the latest from Arizona.
Tonight, the Pima County Sheriff's Office for the first time releasing the 2 ransom notes that were sent to local news outlets in the days following Nancy Guthrie's abduction on February 1st. The first note, which was sent one day after she was taken, begins with this chilling message. Hello, Savannah. We have your mother, Nancy. She is safe but scared. She will be held for ransom, and once payment is received, she will be released unharmed. It goes on to give the demand, $4 million in USD before 5 p.m. on Thursday the 5th or $6 million by 5 p.m. on Monday the 9th. The note says if the payment is received, she will be released within 12 hours of deposit to a safe drop-off location back in Tucson. But says if it is not, she will be killed. Your mother is aware of this and her life is in your hands. It is in the best interest of everyone to have this completed as soon as possible. You will not be able to contact me from here on out. There will be no negotiation. Do not play games. Law enforcement will not be able to help you. The note ends with a Bitcoin link for the payment, redacted by police, and a final line. She had a white smartwatch on the floor of the foot of her bed, and the white floodlight in backyard was destroyed, which you can see here on drone footage. Savannah shared this video a day after reports of this note became public.
We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk.
2 days later, the alleged kidnapper sent the second note. It says, we did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical condition. We never intended to hurt her. That was not our intention. She perished shortly after she was taken. We believe it was heart-related. She is buried in nature now. Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We want your family to know this and hope you all can find peace. We are truly sorry. The next day, the family shared this.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Tonight, 6 months since the abduction, the Pima County Sheriff's Office saying they're making the notes public now in the hope someone recognizes something in them and comes forward.
We are just getting started tonight on Coast TV News at 11. Striped bass ban in Maryland for the month of August. Why the Department of Natural Resources issued the ban. Buy or sell Orioles edition. DSN is at Camden Yards for Baltimore's final series before the deadline. Will the O's send a statement to management against the Phillies? We'll have the highlights coming up. But first, Bob Trahi is in the Coast TV First Alert Weather Center with a nice forecast for the first weekend of August. He has your full forecast in 60 seconds.
We saw temperatures a little bit below average to round out the month of July. 85 in Georgetown, 87 in Salisbury, Wallops Island 86, and 80 in Ocean City. Speaking of Ocean City, here's a Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam right now. Mostly clear skies, the trees barely moving, light winds, a good-looking evening. Mostly clear, mild and muggy with light winds. Temperatures in the 60s to near 70 degrees, and then it's going to be a humid weekend with more clouds than sun. Temperatures upper 80s and a chance of showers showers and storms moving in Sunday night. Then they'll be sticking around for a while. Let's go ahead and take a look at the July recap since July is almost in the books. Look how hot it was the first few days of the month. 102 both on the 3rd and 4th. We had lots of 90s. We had 13 days above average and 14 below. And the coolest temperature was 60, the hottest 102. A total rainfall close to 5 inches. So we had about an inch surplus on the rain side. And you can see that we picked up decent amounts of rains, especially towards the latter part of the month. That put more of a dent in our drought, but it's ongoing. We're looking at temperatures now primarily in the 60s and 70s, mid 70s at the coast, 76 Ocean City, a little cooler in Millsboro at 71. Winds are calm, but the tendency is out of the south as we're going to see more humidity building in. We had some of those showers along the sea breeze earlier this afternoon, but things have really quieted down. We're looking at mostly clear skies right now as high pressure is building in and high clouds are also building in. We've got a lot of clouds back to the west, and these will be moving in for the weekend. I think we keep it dry, but strong low pressure from Iowa will move close to the east coast and then stall, giving us days of rain as we head into next week. But quiet overnight on Futurecast with mostly clear skies. By morning, 60s and low 70s. By the noon hour, it's going to be quite warm, mid to maybe even upper 80s, and then clouds increase later in the day, maybe a little cooler at that time. And then we head into Sunday morning, still lots of clouds, but I think we keep it dry with temperatures in the low 70s. Winds pick up. It gets warm and muggy Sunday afternoon. I think we keep it dry for much of the day. Then by the evening hours, all bets are off. We have a better chance of rain building. And in fact, look at the chances really going up Monday and then pretty much scattered to widespread rain, I think, really the rest of the week. But it looks like Monday is the best chance of seeing that rain as the European model is bringing it in a little earlier Sunday evening, and then Sunday night into Monday, we see that deep tropical moisture. We could see very heavy rain that could cause flash flooding, also storms too. And then that low is just going to pretty much stall out, and we're going to be seeing rounds of mainly afternoon and evening storms for the rest of the week. It's going to be unsettled. In fact, we could be looking at 1.5 inches to maybe some places over 2 inches by the end of next week. 67 tonight, mostly clear, mild and muggy. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Once again, a good looking start to August this weekend, upper 80s, and then Monday it gets wet and stormy, 86, and then on and off showers and storms mainly in the afternoon and evenings. Tuesday through Friday, temperatures mid to upper 80s, then close to 90 by Friday, and stormy conditions. Brandon?
Thank you, Bob. In the majors, the Orioles might break up the band. The trade deadline is on Monday, and Baltimore has a losing record. Our own Ian Nicholas is live from Camden Yards to tell us if the Birds sent a message against the Phils tonight.
Brandon, I hope you're a Ted Lasso fan, because I'm going to allude to the show that comes out with season 4 next week to start our Orioles-Phillies coverage. Yes, I'll go to the soccer pitch, because in that show, nobody believed in Coach Ted Lasso. Coach was somebody who was hired to fail, and it feels like the Orioles might not want their team to win ball games as they sit below 500 to start the season. The Orioles would start tonight on the back foot. Let's get you into the highlights, and we'll start in the top of the first with the best hitter on this Phillies team, and a former national star back in the day, Bryce Harper. Harper going the other way and blasting in the first run of this game. He's somebody who wants his team to succeed. He's begging Phil's front office right now to get pieces at the deadline. This looks like a strong Phillies lineup. Brandon Marsh, another all-star, just like Mr. Harper, making it 2-0. A lucky Phillies fan making his way into the ballpark tonight. He would collect a souvenir from Pete Alonso, who brings his team right back in the game with a 2-run shot, and we are tied going into the third, but not for long, as there is a solo shot from one of the best infielders in all of baseball, Trey Turner. He'd like to capitalize on his championship window. He's a veteran like Harper in his 30s. That window is dwindling. Another vet catcher, JT Realmuto, and he adds to the lead for the Titans. Another homer of Brandon Young. Not a great Friday night for the Orioles pitcher. But here's the comeback effort, right? 2 runners on, and they're both going to come home. A nice shot from Encarnacion to center field, and it ties us up at 4. But more work to be done. Even after Colton Cowser dives into the base, And Camden is alive and well. Gunnar Henderson, is he somebody who could be on the move before Monday? Well, he's proven he wants to stay in Baltimore. He drives home two with 2 outs. It's a triple for the shortstop and the former All-Star. Rounding back in the form, his boys put up a couple zeros in the 8th and the 9th, and the Orioles win 6-4. Mike Elias, by the way, he said before the game, we're not putting all our chips into 2026. But his team, they're all in. That'll do it for sports. Reporting from Baltimore, Ian Nicholas, DSN.
Thank you, Ian. Sadly, my Phillies lost there. We'll turn it around. Some things to know. The Woodland Ferry on your screen now will be closed certain days next week. DelDOT says the ferry will be open on Tuesday, but closed every other day. It'll go back to normal schedule next Monday. Maryland Natural Resources Police will be a part of National Night Out this Tuesday, August 4th. The annual event brings law enforcement and locals together on the Eastern Shore. Officers will be in Berlin at Dr. William Henry Park. Coming up, we are just days away from the White Marlin Open. What changes you need to know about before fishing starts?
This is Coast TV News at 11.
In Ocean City, the countdown to the 53rd annual White Marlin Open is on. Registration is tomorrow and Sunday at Harbor Island Marina, with the event officially starting on Monday, August 3rd. And there are some new changes this year. Participants can fish 3 of 6 days now, rather than the 5-day tournament in the past. Organizers say the schedule change is because of offshore weather problems. Fishing for striped bass in Maryland, that's closing tomorrow. The Department of Natural Resources says this is necessary for conservation. The month-long closure also prohibits catch and release fishing. The department says warm water and low oxygen levels can place additional stress on fish that are caught and returned to the water.
If the population can come back a bit, it's going to be better for everyone. So a little sacrifice now goes a long way, and we're hoping that the public will understand this.
The department says fishers can still target species like the invasive blue catfish. Coming up, big oil cashes in. How numbers are only growing as the war with Iran continues.
Congratulations to Troy Plumley from Rehoboth Beach. He is our umbrella winner today, courtesy of Paul Davis and Coast TV. A nice weekend to start August, then turning wet pretty much all week next week. Your 10-day forecast a bit later on. We'll be right back.
In health news, the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is now the 2nd largest on record. The World Health Organization says at least 3,500 people have been infected since mid-May, and over 1,500 have died. Clinical trials for new vaccines and antiviral therapies are now underway as leaders work to slow the spread. Big oil is cashing in on higher energy prices. ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Shell all reported blockbuster second quarter profits this week. The earnings come as drivers continue to pay more at the pump. Analysts say higher oil prices during the U.S. and Iran conflict, along with strong refining margins, fueled the gains. Coming up, a tomato festival, traffic safety, and agricultural appreciation week. Stay tuned. We have your cool things to do after the break.